Guys, the new Fortnite update is just around the corner, update 15.20, so we're going to be going over a ton of stuff coming to the game soon. Now, before we get into it, guys, did you get the bonus reward that Epic Games gave out for the crew pack? If you did, you guys know what to do, or if you're hoping for it still, be quick though, because the video is just about to start. So yes, we have got so much to talk about with the new update. There is like going to be a new location, a new item, which is Jonesy's Rift Gun. We're going to talk about how that'll work, and not only that, we're going to be dissecting more secrets within the trailers, and like especially the Battle Pass trailer, because nobody's really been talking about the secrets hidden inside of there. Now guys, as for the challenge for the comments on last video, I'm surprised a lot of you still got it right. We did an emote, which was the floss. So this time around, let's go with a skin that's a little bit tougher, and this will actually be in today's video, but comment down below if you know the name of it, and I will heart a bunch of the comments that get it right. Also guys, if you use code JONESY'S in the item shop, be sure to comment down below that as well, and I will heart a bunch of those comments too. But yeah guys, let's get into the video. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications for more update stuff coming up in the near future, but let's jump into it. Alright guys, so first things first, before we get into the stuff with the story trailer of Season 5, and also discuss what Jonesy's Rift item is going to be and what it's going to be like, I first wanted to bring up some clues within the Battle Pass trailer, because a lot of people have been sort of brushing over the Battle Pass trailer, but there are a ton of clues for the rest of the season within this trailer. And what better way to prove it than like in that trailer, Agent Jonesy literally says,
"They'll have scores to settle and bounties to collect, all while we get ready for the next phase. And we're just getting started."
They'll have scores to settle and bounties to collect, all while we get ready for the next phase. Now, so far, guys, we haven't had any next phase, meaning that we're going to get some humongous changes in the season very, very soon. And we've got some ideas of what exactly that is going to be. Because reminder, guys, this season seems to be longer than previous seasons. If you take a look inside of the Battle Pass tab in-game and then look at the bottom left corner, you will see that it says Chapter 2, Season 5 through March 16th, which is a lot of time. That is over 2 months left in the season, and we've already gotten through, what is it, week 6? We should be getting the week 7 challenges this week. So yeah, around a month or so longer than normal seasons, but we also know that there's going to be more than 10 weeks of challenges. So again, it looks like they're preparing for this next phase to be starting very, very soon. Not only that, guys, also in that trailer, at the beginning, Jonesy also says,
"No one is escaping the loop. Not on my watch."
"No one is escaping the loop, not on my watch." And then it zooms in on the 0 point, so again, that's just more confirmation that the 0 point is in fact the loop. We'll explain more about that here soon. And then he also mentions a bunch of the hunters. Now again, we're not 100% sure why he's getting all of these hunters. It seems to be getting control of everybody and making sure, again, that nobody escapes the loop. So the hunters hunt down anybody trying to escape and put them back. Because we also know from Bunker Jonesy that all of this stuff is pretty dangerous. He also even mentions that you're not one of them, are you? And guys, we don't know who them is yet. That could bounce back to all of the stuff with the IO guards and how we know that Lexa is not on the side of the IO guards, and also questions why they're fighting us, yet the hunters like Lexa and all of them, the NPCs, are on our side. So we're going to figure out who they are, likely in this next phase, which could be very well starting in the next update. But with that being said, guys, let's jump into it with the story trailer and all of the other stuff that's hidden in there, and also of course the Jonesy Rift type thing that we need to go over. And we've talked about a bunch of this before, but there's some things we missed. Like for example, at the very start of the trailer, you'll notice that it zooms in on a bunch of pictures on the wall in Agent Jonesy's office. Now a couple of these aren't super interesting. Like for example, you have him doing like some meditating with, I forget the name of this skin right here, but that's clearly what he's doing there. And then another one where he's like on a tennis court playing with the tennis skin, but he's also still wearing his suit, which is pretty funny. You'll also remember that these are actually different from way back in Chapter 2, or sorry, Season 2. During the event, we saw similar pictures, but they're completely changed up from then, which not 100% sure why that is. Now, where it gets even more interesting is like the bottom left picture, as you can see, is Jonesy talking to himself. Obviously, we know that that skin is the space skin from way back in Chapter 1, like I think it was Season 3 or something like that. Maybe Season 4. It was one of the early seasons. seasons. But if we go in game and take a look at the skin, we do know that that is, you know, the Jonesy player model. And in that picture, it does look very similar to Jonesy. We also know that this is likely a snapshot of himself. And again, guys, if you don't remember, the snapshots of Jonesy are what he mentions in the story trailer. He says, the last thing we need is another snapshot of me in the loop, something along those lines. We believe those to be all of the different Agent Jonesys that we know of. Like, for example, Bunker Jonesy, Castaway Jonesy, all of those. And of course, this one right here. So it's weird that he would have a picture of him with a snapshot of himself. And then you've got the one on the right with, I'm forgetting the name of this skin as well, but that was one all the way back from Chapter 1. So apparently Agent Jonesy's been to the Chapter 1 map and all of that. I don't know, all of that stuff was very peculiar. Not only that, I also noticed this number for the room where the rift portal type thing is for the 0 point. I don't know if that number actually means anything or it's just random. I just thought I'd point it out in case you guys know, so leave a comment down below. But once he goes inside of there, we've talked about this in a previous video, but this location is underwater, and we're expecting it to be a brand new location, maybe this update or further down the line in the season. Since again, we have so much time in the season, we're bound to be getting some new location. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get this area. It's a really cool area, and they put a lot of detail in the trailer and also put it underwater. Why would they do that unless it's coming to the map? But guys, let's go ahead and hop into game here because I want to show you a location on the map where this underground spot is most likely going to be. So let's just go ahead and hop into Battle Lab, make it super simple. And a bunch of you had come up with this idea from one of my last videos where we talked about where this location could be. But basically, it's looking like it could be over at the grotto, since obviously this is one of the only locations that is filled up with water. And we always wondered like why it was kind of filled up with water. Obviously, it's because of the giant wave during the Season 2 event, but it's still funny that they completely got rid of this location. And again, it kind of looks similar to the trailer where it shows them underwater, especially like this spot right here is circular. We know that there's not too much under there, but it could just be something similar. Now, on top of that, what I find to be even more interesting is if you go all the way over to this spot, the doorway for the location is still there. I mean, like, look at all of this, guys. This giant doorway is just fully closed still and locked off on the side of the map. Like, why would they keep this all here if nobody ever goes over to this location? The door is so huge. There's no loot or anything over here, but they did add a couple of boats, which I find peculiar, right? Now, real quick, I'm also curious what happens if we take a look under the map, if we can find anything. I'm not expecting too much, but I guess we'll see. So there we have the door, and then if we fly up a bit behind it, we can see the backside of the door, which there is a little bit here. There's not too much behind it, but yeah, apparently there's a light inside of here still. That's kind of funny. So yeah, there's nothing too much right now, which makes sense. They'd probably add it in the next update, but I do find it funny that this entire column is still here. They never removed it. There's even this doorway. Can we go inside of it? And yeah, we're inside of the turbine. Interesting that all of this is still there. Now, something I will add to that, guys, is that during the story trailer, we do see Jonesy jump into that pit to go into the 0 point, and right before he hits the 0 point, you'll see that he actually comes out of like the center of the map, which would mean that the room that he's in is upside down, which doesn't make much sense. I think that's more of an artistic choice for the trailer instead of where it actually is. So still, I think the grotto is a likely spot. Now guys, let's move on and talk about the brand new item that is likely going to be added very, very soon, and that is Jonesy's Rift Gun. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch about this, but let's go in depth with what this item is, why Jonesy has it, and what it's going to do in game. So first things first, there are 3 main spots that we see Jonesy's Rift Gun show up in. The first of which is within the story trailer. Near the start, just for a split second, you can see him open his drawer of his desk, and the rift thing is sitting inside of there. So he grabs that and puts it inside of his backpack. Nothing too crazy right there. Second is from the Battle Pass trailer. At the very end, you see him show up with the hunters behind him, and he actually uses the rift gun to like transfer us out of the trailer, so to say. Or it's just like an artistic transition, but it makes the rift sound, so clearly it is a rift. And I mean, obviously it looks like a rift. It looks very similar to the rift to go, but it can be like triggered. And then the final spot that is probably the most interesting is within the Walking Dead trailer. Inside of there, first of all, he shows up out of nowhere, meaning that he used the rift gun to get to this location. And then once he finds the hunters he's looking for, he clicks the trigger and uses it to transfer them back inside of a rift to the Fortnite world. So judging by that, we can tell pretty much how it's going to work. Now, obviously it's going to be similar to like the the Rift to go, or for example, in-game right now, we have the Rift Fish, which transfers you up into the air and you can glide around. We know all of that stuff, but obviously it's got to be different than that, right? What I find most interesting is that Jonesy uses it multiple times. With the Rift to go, you use it and it disappears. With the Rift Fish, you use it and it disappears. However, like in the Walking Dead trailer, we saw him use it twice right there, which means that it is a reusable item. Now, that makes me think that this could be a mythic item. And honestly, I think it'll be very similar to the mythic Chug Jug that we had back in Season 3, where you're able to use it and then it has a long recharge time before you're able to use it again. That means you can use the Rift multiple times, but you have a little bit of a cooldown in between those. However, if it is a mythic item, that would mean that it has to be dropped by a boss, so it's looking like Agent Jonesy could become a boss in the near future. That would definitely be pretty cool, and especially it would make sense if we get this brand new location, which is like the IO headquarters. Who better to be the boss of that location than Agent Jonesy? It could also be an exotic item that Agent Jonesy drops, because I do feel like it would be weird to fight Agent Jonesy. It would make sense that maybe he's more of an NPC like Lexa, for example. So again, maybe it's an exotic item you can use your gold for and just get it from him like that. That'd make a lot of sense as well. And you know, it's possible it could drop as just an item on the map, but really, I don't think so. It's such a special item. It's got to be obtained in some special way. That's the only way it would really make sense. But anyways, guys, that is all of the stuff we have to talk about in today's video. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more fun videos coming up in the near future with the new update. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos on the screen right now, such as going over an upcoming emote and skin. But again, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.